Believe it or not, you're being judged every time you eat out at a nice restaurant. And the reason I know is because the owner of a really hot restaurant in New York told me something that he probably shouldn't have said. He told me that they actually score every guest's social value and they're judging them throughout the entire meal. There's 7 specific things that they watch to determine how they categorize you. Will you get the table that everyone wants by the entrance where everyone can see you when they come and go? Or do they stick you back in the back by the kitchen where nobody even knows you exist? Will they find room for you on a busy Saturday or tell you they're full when the place is half empty? This stuff really happens, and most men think that money can buy them access. They can get anywhere. To a point, this is true, but these places care more about your social competence than your net worth. See, they want guests who understand the unspoken rules, who enhance the atmosphere and make the restaurant look good, make it a place that people want to come and be seen. These same 7 moves determine how your date sees you, how your boss sees you, and how everyone else in the restaurant will see you. You've been getting categorized like this your whole life, but you probably never knew it. Now we're gonna start with a basic one and work our way up to some stuff that's more advanced. Picture this. Your server walks up to the table. They're looking a little nervous. They're fumbling with the notepad. Maybe they forgot to bring the waters. What do? You snap your fingers? You raise your voice? You get angry? Or do you make eye contact? You speak calm. Maybe you make a joke to kind of lighten the tension on their behalf. See, how you treat someone, and this is very important, who cannot benefit you reveals your actual character. Now, people who feel weak in their ordinary lives, they look for any opportunity they can to feel powerful. They feel the need to make others feel small, to make themselves feel big. They want to feel important. Important people don't need this because they already get respect in their everyday lives. So when you feel the need to belittle someone just because you're paying them and you know they have to treat you in a certain way, it's the ultimate sign that you feel weak in your own lives. People who are confident always treat the staff with respect. Now, if they mess up, of course they're gonna address that, but they start with equal respect. Warren Buffett is actually known to take executives out before hiring them, not to discuss business, but to watch how they treat the waiter, because that interaction tells them a lot more about their character than obviously like a resume can. Resume shows accomplishment, but this shows who you really are. And remember, that reputation follows you far beyond the restaurant. Number 2, you walk into the restaurant. What do you got in your hand? I bet it's your phone. What are you gonna do? You gonna keep it just visible just so you can see in case you get a really important notification? Or are you gonna be very polite and put it upside down by the water glass? I'm a polite person doing that. No. You're gonna keep it completely out of sight, in your pant pocket, in your jacket pocket, anywhere that's necessary, and you're gonna do this the entire meal. Even face down, it signals that you're not fully present. Every notification that you get pulls the attention away from the other people and from the conversation. The person across the table then feels like they're competing with whoever might text or call you. It's not a good vibe. When you need to have your phone visible, you're actually broadcasting insecurity. Confident guys, they don't need to be accessible instantly. They control their time. They're not reactive to other people's schedules. They decide when to engage with the outside world, and that undivided attention shows you're someone who actually matters. And in business, that builds trust. In dating, that creates comfort and intimacy. That presence is much more important than any message that you might miss. Number 3, you're mid-conversation in dinner, halfway through your appetizer, and your client walks through the table, or your date's friend, or your boss's wife, 3 steps away. What do? You wave, you say, hello, good to meet you, I've heard a lot about you. You just nod while you keep eating, or do you immediately put everything down, rise to your feet, stand and greet them every single time? When you remain seated and someone stands above you, first of all, you're creating kind of an awkward power dynamic where you're looking up at them, hello, nice to meet you. But more importantly, The introduction, it shows a lack of competence, social competence. You need to respect the person, stand up, shake hands, or hug them, and have a brief exchange as equals. This doesn't show that you're being alpha or you're confident that you're not gonna rise to meet someone. It shows a lack of social awareness. I know some people, like when I'm coaching them first, they're like, yeah, but what if it's just someone who isn't very important in the conversation? That doesn't matter. It just shows that you are socially aware. It doesn't show that you think that they're higher than you. It shows a general lack of respect and social competence. Every time, stand up, greet them like they're an important person. It will be remembered. This is a good one. Riddle me this. How would you handle this? The menu lands in front of you. $85 lobster, $120 Wagyu that looks really nice, but you notice that most of the entrees, $25 to $35, and the table has already agreed to split the check evenly. So you scan the group, you notice there's a junior analyst that just started, probably making around 60 grand a year. What do you order? That Wagyu looks nice, boy. You gotta order something in the middle of the price range, because if you think, yeah, I work hard, I deserve the Wagyu, you're just forcing everyone else to subsidize your luxury dinner. Now that junior analyst has to pay an extra 20 to 30 bucks to cover your choice. And he's sitting there, trust me, the whole dinner, he's sitting there doing the math. He's worried about making rent. You're chomping down on this $120 steak. Even people who can afford, they notice that. You kind of show that you don't care about the group dynamics, or you're clueless to realize how other people are feeling. So order within the average price range of the table. If you really want something that is a lot more expensive, like you really want the lobster, just have it as a separate check. Trust me, it's a really cool move to do something like that. It's not a big deal. Now, if you're with a group of people and everyone's got dough and you know that, and trust me, some people, if you know their friends really well, totally cool, get whatever you want, awesome. But a lot of times people try to position themselves as having more money than they don't, especially if they're with a group of other people that they know have money. So always err on the side of safety, order something more in the middle of the range or get a separate check. It's a really pro move. Filet medium rare. Your plate shows up first. You can still hear it sizzling. You've been running on coffee since noon and you're starving. Everyone else is still waiting. The kitchen's backed up. The orders trickling in one by one. You wait. You sit there with that beautiful piece of meat just waiting in front of you. Do you start? Do you comment that everyone's food is coming slow? Do you wait for someone to say, hey, go ahead and start? No. You wait until everyone has their food. Pro move. A meal is a shared experience, not individual feeding time. When you start eating by yourself, you break the rhythm of the table. The person still waiting watches you eat. Conversation splits because you're focused on your food. Everyone else is kind of anticipating theirs. Everyone starts together. It creates a united moment. It keeps everyone on the same page, whether you're there for business connection or whether you're there to build rapport with somebody else. You always want to do it. A lot of times I see people and they look for an excuse. Oh, you don't mind? You don't mind if I dig in? Dude, that makes you look even more lame. You're looking for some false approval from someone you shouldn't be asking for approval from to do it. Be a grown up and wait for everyone at the table to have their meal. You'll make it. Now, everyone's got their plate. They're digging in. You need the salt, and you see it sitting right there. It's within reach, and you think, oh, I'm not gonna bother anyone. I can just reach it. Bad move. It's not about whether you can reach it or not. That exposes your lack of dining etiquette, and some people really do judge that. It takes 2 seconds to ask, can you pass the salt? Reaching across someone else's plate or across the table, it breaks invisible boundaries. Everyone kind of has their own zone. You know, their plates, their glass, their bread, their silverware, everything's dialed in and lined up. And when you reach across, you're kind of, think of it as you're invading their personal space with your arm. Your sleeve can drag, especially women I've seen with dangly things, when they reach it, the gravy, and next time they come, it's all over everyone beside them. It just disrupts the conversation. There's no need for it. It forces people to lean back. Asking someone to pass something actually increases the table's kind of group dynamic. It creates a small moment of cooperation versus you just kind of grabbing what you want, once again, doing it on your own. You always want to think of this as a group event where everyone is working together. So now you got the salt, everything's dialed in, you cut a piece of that steak, oh, it is nice. What do you do with your fork? This is a tough one. Most people don't know this. You're going to reach for your wine, you got the fork in the hand, where do you put it? You just put it down? That's what most people do, they don't even think about it. But what you actually want to do anytime you've used a piece of silverware, even once, it only goes on the plate. It never goes on the actual tablecloth. The tablecloth is designed to stay pristine in fine dining restaurants. And so if you put a dirty utensil on it, it makes it dirty. You pick it up, now it starts to look like a pigsty. So this is one that's easy to follow and really shows whether you know your P's and Q's about dining. Now, even before you sit down at that table, what's something that determines the first look, the first kind of crack at what your social value is? The handshake, that first handshake when you walk in. Now, I want you to watch Emmanuel Macron of France is in a handshake battle with Donald Trump, and his wife gets involved. She can't escape. This video actually starts with his wife trying to pull away from Trump. If you want me to walk you through that handshake battle, you can click right here and I'll talk to you there.